Episode 9 serves as the season finale of Chief of War, a sweeping historical epic on Apple TV+ that chronicles the unification of the Hawaiian Islands in the late 18th century through the eyes of War Chief Kaʻiana, Jason Momoa. Directed and co-written by Momoa himself, the episode builds to a climactic confrontation amid the island's ongoing civil wars and the looming threat of European colonization. It emphasizes themes of betrayal, destiny, and the cost of power, while delivering the series' most visually stunning set pieces. Escalation of Internal Conflict. The episode begins following the events of Episode 8 at the Sacred Niu Grove, when King Kahekili's support for rival Chief Keōua leads Kamehameha's men in a full-scale attack. Kaʻiana must negotiate shifting alliances among the kingdoms of Hawaii, Maui, Oʻahu, and Kauaʻi while juggling his own goals and devotion to Kamehameha. As Kaʻiana's previous choices come back to haunt him and make him consider his part in the unification prophecy, a crucial betrayal takes place. Climactic battle at the volcano. The main event is a vicious, extensive conflict against the erupting volcanoes Mauna Loa and Kilauea, which were actually erupted while filming, giving the sequences a genuine sense of chaos. Kaʻiana leads a desperate push utilizing both traditional weapons like the leo mano, shark-tooth club, and firearms purchased from abroad while rival warriors battle in a black desert of lava fields. The sequence demonstrates Kamehameha's strategic advantage, albeit at a terrible human cost, by fusing Western technology with Hawaiian customs. Kaʻiana's arc and rebellion, based on personal loss, such as the Episode 7 massacre, and disenchantment with Kamehameha's leadership, Kaʻiana rebels against the unification movement he once supported, in line with historical events. The conflict between peace, Momoa law, and surviving colonizers like Captain Metcalfe is explored through his encounter with Kamehameha and Kahumanu, Lucien Buchanan. Kaʻiana's terrible demise as a bridge between the old and modern worlds is highlighted by the episode's devastating conclusion. Existential danger from outsiders, allusions to continuous European intrusions, such as the avarice of the sandalwood trade and diseases that are destroying indigenous communities, heighten the sense of alien threat. Although deserters from previous episodes, John Young and Isaac Davis, serve as important counselors, their presence portends more extensive colonial exploitation. Kaʻiana is a complicated anti-hero thanks to Jason Momoa's tour de force, which features quiet sensitivity in emotional beats and fierce fury in battle scenes. His direction is praised by critics for encapsulating the majesty and brutality of Hawaiian scenery. The supporting cast excels. Buchanan's Kahumanu strikes a balance between political savvy and inner struggle, while Kaina Mekua's Kamehameha exemplifies measured wisdom. Kahekili by Temuera Morrison is still a terrifying force of mayhem. Themes examined. The conclusion explores indigenous resistance to empire, the prophecy of a unifying ruler, and legacy against ambition. Echoing actual history in which unification served as both a means of salvation and a spur for colonization, it criticizes the limits of kindness in the face of avarice. Visual spectacle. The episode, which was partially filmed in New Zealand and Hawaii, includes stunning photography of lush landscapes, ocean fights, and volcano explosions. The epic breadth is enhanced by Hans Zimmer's score, which combines orchestral swells with traditional Hawaiian chants. Cultural authenticity. War canoes, were constructed using traditional techniques, and the majority of the dialogue is in Hawaiian, with subtitles. The show respectfully retold the story from an indigenous point of view after consulting cultural consultants for accuracy. Runtime and tone. About 50 minutes long, it's action-packed but moving, alternating moments of contemplation about prophecy and family with gore, shark-tooth weaponry, cannon fire. Day of Spilled Brains may be the Chief of War episode that most captures the essence of the plot, despite being the most condensed and brief to yet. In a nutshell, the white man is unreliable. Naturally, everybody with even a passing familiarity with colonial history is aware of this, but in Episode 7, the locals of Hawaii see for themselves how accurate it is. Here, King Kahekili isn't even mentioned, the attention is always on the nearby kingdoms. The outer world's advancing destruction and greed, the real enemy, has already come. Because the episode opens with a happy celebration of a child's birth, you can know that everything is going to go wrong. It's all fun and games unless you include the fact that Kaʻiana has to tell Kamehameha that she will become pregnant with his child soon, even though she knows she won't. In any case, mostly. The audience is aware that Captain Metcalfe and Marley have arrived on shore with a few men and bad intentions. Additionally, we know that Kupuohi is keeping a close check on things when Kaʻiana and Kaʻiana defy Kamehameha's orders and go off to meet with the spy Kaʻiana sent to monitor Keōua. The idea of any enduring peace seems painfully distant, but the games and pleasure continue everywhere. Hawaii is at danger of collapsing politically and even in terms of relationships. Although her clear affection for Kaʻiana is clouding the situation, Kaʻiana still thinks that Kamehameha's love of peace and Kaʻiana's skill at war will be equally useful in the conflicts to come. Throughout Day of Spilled Brains, their allyship gets more flirty, and it is not overlooked. Kaʻiana stating the British rituals John Young taught her, including curtsying and kissing the Queen's hand, aren't merely cultural learning, let me tell you. Furthermore, Kupuohi's underlying point is pertinent to the broader message, even though she doesn't really have much to say about being sarcastic about extramarital affairs. A major vector for the disease that is sweeping throughout the lands and invading its coasts is Kaʻiana, who is dressed in pants and a waistcoat, speaks English, and carries his guns with him. In Marley and Metcalfe, the illness manifests as a human. Despite being caught snooping and following a young native child, Kamehameha believes them because they act polite and act as though they are merely interested in fair commerce. Importantly, neither Tony nor Kaʻiana do, particularly in light of the entire attempt to kidnap him. Kamehameha is advised by Kaʻiana to kill Captain Cook and his men and send their flayed bones as a message, much like his uncle did. However, it is not taken seriously. It wouldn't be appropriate for Kamehameha to be seen breaking the rule right away once it was established that it forbids killing people without cause. Kaʻiana and Tony believe they have little choice but to act independently, but Namek supports his chief rather than his brother, which likely has more to do with Kupuohi than his political connections. Kaʻiana, Tony, and Nahi enter Metcalfe's ship covertly and approach Marley in the shadows, but Kamehameha, who has clearly been warned off, exposes their scheme. He reveals his intention to offer John Young good news and a courteous letter to leave the islands after dissuading Kaʻiana from acting hastily. Kaʻiana is correct when he believes it won't work. However, the harm caused by his disobedience has already been done.